A very important concept in data science is the concept of missing data. And how do you treat missing data? Like, do you throw out an entire row if some data is missing from it? And as a first step, yeah, you have to identify, like, do we have missing data? So if we go back to our df.info that we looked at before in the first video about this cars data set, you can see that, for example, here there are 8 fewer non-null entries than in the previous column. And so also in this horsepower one, maybe I'll work with horsepower just because it's a little easier for me to type. So I can make a new column here. Maybe I'll call it C2 to differentiate it from the previous video. C2 equals df horsepower. And then if I look at C2, okay, it looks normal enough, but I know that there are 6 missing entries somewhere in it. Kind of a silly way to see them is if I do this C2.sort values, and then you can see at the bottom these NANs, and that NAN, that comes from NumPy, and it stands for not a number. You might have seen the same thing in MATLAB. But what is the right way to find where these are? Like doing this sort values isn't an efficient way of finding it. Well, one way is to say c2.isNA. Okay, and then this gives me a Boolean array, or a Boolean series, I guess I should say, of saying, is the entry, so let me look at C2 again, saying, is the entry missing? And so here you can see none of these 10 isn't missing, and that's why for all of these 10, we get false here. And if I write C2 brackets this, and then this is showing me exactly what are the rows in which it is missing. So it went and found where were the 6 trues in that case, and then it said, for the ones where it's false, do not keep that row. For the ones where it's true, do keep that row. And I can do the same thing with the original data frame, df. And you can see these numbers should be the same. So I have 38, 133, 337, 38, 133, 337. So this is a good way to find what are the rows of the data frame where this entry is missing.